there's a short life in
Why
the
do you
acting
think that
world.
is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it.
That's deep as hell. And I know that Terrence Howard get a lot of flack for, I don't know, what people don't even probably understand. I think that Terrence Howard is a lot more intelligent than most of us, to be honest with you. I tried to follow along, and maybe it's just because I'm a C student. I tried to follow along his whole dispelling the myth of 1 times 1 equal 1, but 1 times 1 equaling 2 and stuff like that. I was able to follow along a little bit, but I mean, even if he's right, even if he's wrong, his ability to communicate it and clearly and concisely debate that whole topic, in my opinion, I was blown away. And I know I've been kind of following and paying attention to what he's been doing for a long time now, and I am absolutely blown away by his ability to communicate that and speak to that at length. With that being said, a lot of people try to make it seem like he's crazy. And I don't think that he's crazy. I think that he's absolutely sane and in his right mind. And usually people, they try to make him out to be crazy when they don't join and be a part of the go along, get along gang. Now, with that being said, him speaking to this is absolutely true. And there's a lot of people in the culture and society that tries to make it seem like, no, you just normal. No. Listen, when I see trans people, when I see people that live an alternative lifestyle, when I see people that are extremely devious sexually, spiritually, I am blown back. I am taken away. I am a lot of times confused as to how they see themselves as normal and why they're trying to push this on society. Why is it so important to get off? Why is it so important in order to indoctrinate the children? Why is it so important for this to be inside of our books? And I believe that they are spiritually compromised, that they are troubled within themselves. And as Terrence Howard clearly communicated right here, you lose a little bit of something, or you lose something because you have one life and you cannot get certain things back. And when you give up, when you voluntarily, we're not talking about people that's been taken advantage of, we're not talking about any of that type of stuff. In this specific instance that he's using, I'm going to speak to what he's been saying. When you give up that aura that you have, and I don't believe you can ever truly get it back. And there is a lot of people that are willing to sell themselves short inside of these industries to get in certain rooms and to be a part of the in club, and they never recover from it. I don't think that they ever truly come back from it. It's real talk. I want to hear some more of what he got to say.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Facts.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card,
He speaks
no matter
very
what.
clearly. That's really dope.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that? It's
not worth it. Man, Terrence Howard is cooking. He is absolutely cooking. Facts. It is not worth it to trade your soul, to trade your integrity for $1. And he's saying that these people are willing to do anything to get famous. And I see a lot of people justified a lot of times and they say, well, they got $100 million or they got this or they got that. But I'll tell you, real talk, once you get past a certain threshold and once you can buy, for the most part, the majority of what everybody else can buy, and you can fly how they can fly and you can do what they can do, you can drive what they drive, is not too much of a difference. I know inflation tries to mess up the numbers a little bit, but I'm going to tell you that it's not too much of a difference between having 10 M's and having 100 M's. It's no gap. It's no happiness gap. It's no opportunity gap. It's nothing that they can do that you can't do except for, try to get more of it to try to drown themselves or drown out all of the stuff that they had to do to get there. And a hoe is still going to be a hoe. A dude that traded up his man butt is still going to be a dude that traded up his man butt, and they can never come back from that. Meanwhile, you've been happy and you satisfied with yourself because you didn't have to sell your soul, or you didn't have to, subject yourself to something that you never wanted to do in the first place, or you knew that was bad for you, to get there. And you're going to try to make it make sense. You're going to try to, a lot of women try to come back and they say, oh, me too. It's too late. It don't matter what you sue for. It don't matter what they go to jail for. You willingly gave it up. And then see, that's my thing is, yeah, I believe that Puffy was, or any of these people, are very, very devilish and spiritually compromised, and that they have sold out even more, which is one of the reasons why they can't fulfill, that fleshly desire. They'll never be able to quench that thirst. It's like a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't believe that most of these people that come back and say, well, me too, or I want to get a law school or whatever, I don't think that they just got the money to go along with it. They thought that they was going to be stars. They never made it. Or they got a little bit of fame and now they fell off. And so they think that they can get something back by volunteering a story, and it doesn't help them. It's not going to solve for it. It's not going to bring them back. Terrence Howard is cooking. I want to hear the rest of this, and then we're going to have a conversation.
I lose my integrity. You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. No. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
And people will sit there and say, "Oh no, it's just acting, or it's just a role. No, it's just a dress that he put on. No, he just was kissing a man and all of that." Man, get the fuck out of here with that. I believe 1,000% that once you, as an adult, made a conscious decision that you wanted to play this role, and for whatever they sold it to you for, listen, I just believe that you are compromised, and it is something that is difficult to come back from. And I don't care who you are or how much money that they paid you.
No idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the Chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. Hi, everyone.
Yo, shout out to him. Man, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Shout out to Terrence Howard. I'm always link back to the creator, so I'll be linking back to Patrick Bet-David for the interview. But Terrence Howard absolutely hit the nail on the head. He spoke clearly, he spoke direct, and I believe that he was very intentional with his words. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I'm going to have to send this to Q to add this as a part of the conversation for Monday night. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.